All right, so ever get that little twinge of paranoia when you're sipping your latte and browsing the web using the coffee shop's Wi-Fi?
You mean wondering if someone's snooping on all your online activity?
Exactly. I mean, how safe is that connection, really?
Well, let's just say it pays to be a little paranoid.
That's what we're diving into today, right? Peeling back the layers of wireless security and maybe getting a little paranoid along the way.
Right. And we've got the perfect guide to help us navigate this digital minefield, BackTrack testing wireless network security.
BackTrack. It sounds a little intimidating, doesn't it? Like something a hacker would use in a movie montage.
Well, it is a penetration testing toolkit, so.
Okay, that's officially making me nervous. But
Mhm.
seriously, what exactly is BackTrack and how does it relate to keeping our data safe?
So basically, BackTrack is designed to expose vulnerabilities. Think of it like an ethical hacker's toolbox.
Like a security audit for your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, exactly. By understanding how hackers could potentially exploit weaknesses, we can learn to build up our defenses.
So, knowledge is power, especially in the world of cybersecurity. And what's fascinating about this book is it really lays out a hacker's process so systematically, like it's a recipe they follow.
Right, almost like a playbook.
Hmm.
And that's what makes BackTrack so valuable. It's not just theoretical. It's based on real-world attack methods.
So no more casually connecting to any open network we see, huh? I'm already getting a little nervous.
Don't worry, we'll get to the solutions. But yeah, first we need to understand the threats.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about here?
Well, BackTrack dives into various attack types, probing, surveillance, even setting up those fake free Wi-Fi traps.
Wait, the whole free Wi-Fi thing is a real threat?
Oh yeah, it's a classic. They make it look like a legitimate network to trick you into connecting.
Wow. I'm never trusting free Wi-Fi again. Okay, so these aren't just random acts. There's a method to the madness.
Right, there's a whole process they follow.
And I think what really stood out to me in the book was how it exposed the weakness of older security protocols like WEP. I mean, it's incredible how, as they put it, radio engineers shouldn't pick encryption.
Yeah, they definitely don't mince words.
So in a nutshell, what's so bad about WEP? Why is it such a security nightmare?
Well, the biggest problem with WEP is that the encryption method itself was inherently weak right from the start.
Like fundamentally flawed.
Exactly. It used these things called initialization vectors, or IVs, and they were way too short and predictable.
IVs. Is there a way to explain that without getting too technical?
Okay, imagine a combination lock where the combination never changes. That's kind of what WEP is like,
Oh, so it's like the lock is already broken before you even start.
basically. It makes it surprisingly easy to crack.
And then on top of that, there's packet capture, which already sounds kind of creepy. It's like digital eavesdropping, right?
Yeah, except it's worse than just listening in. It's like someone recording your every word.
Yikes. So with WEP, our data is basically up for grabs.
Pretty much. Anyone with the right tools can intercept and read that information. It's like sending a postcard through the mail instead of a sealed letter.
Okay, message received. If you see WEP, run. It's virtually useless. But what about its successor, WPA? Is that the security solution we've all been waiting for? So WPA, that's got to be better, right? It's the upgrade, the next generation of Wi-Fi security.
Oh, it's definitely a step up from WEP. Don't get me wrong. It's way better.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Well, as BackTrack reminds us, no system is foolproof.
Okay, so WPA, it's not like Fort Knox then.
Not exactly. Think of it this way. You've upgraded from a cardboard box to a wooden door. It's stronger, sure.
Bet a determined intruder could still probably get through.
Exactly. And BackTrack digs into some of those methods, like this thing called a four-way handshake capture.
Four-way handshake sounds kind of complicated.
It is a bit technical, but basically, imagine someone listening in. When your device first connects to the Wi-Fi, they're capturing that initial communication, that handshake, looking for weaknesses they can exploit.
So they're not cracking the password directly.
Not at first. This is more about finding vulnerabilities in the way the connection is established.
And that's where those dictionary attacks come in, right?
You got it. They use those captured handshakes, and they basically run them through a program that tries out thousands, millions of potential passwords.
So even if I have WPA, if my password is something dumb like password123, I'm still toast.
Pretty much. Which is why using a strong, unique password is still crucial, even with WPA. It's like they always say your network is only as strong as its weakest link.
Makes sense. Okay, enough with the scary stuff for a minute. What I appreciate about BackTrack is it doesn't just point out the vulnerabilities, it gives us solutions. So how do we actually make our wireless networks more secure? Give me the good stuff.
Right, so BackTrack really emphasizes a multi-layered approach.
Multiple layers of security, like I need a moat and a drawbridge.
Think of it that way. It's about minimizing what they call your attack surface, making it harder for hackers to even find a way in. And one surprisingly simple step is adjusting your Wi-Fi signal strength.
Wait, what? You mean blasting my Wi-Fi at full power isn't the best idea? I thought stronger signal, better connection.
It does, for you.
Yeah.
But it also broadcasts your network further, making it easier for potential attackers to detect and target.
Ah, so it's like leaving all the doors and windows open just because you want more fresh air.
Exactly. The book recommends adjusting your router's transmit power to the lowest setting that still provides reliable coverage for your needs.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's about finding that balance, convenience versus security. What else can we do to fortify our defenses? What about encryption?
Encryption is key, absolutely. BackTrack is very clear about this WPA2 with AES encryption. That's your bare minimum.
WPA2 with AES, got it. Is that something I need to be a tech wizard to set up?
No, not at all. Most modern routers have that option readily available.
Okay, good to know.
You'll usually find it labeled as WPA2, maybe WPA2 PSK in your router settings. But seriously, if you're still seeing WPA or, God forbid, WEP, it's time for a router upgrade.
So using outdated security protocols, it's like what, bringing a knife to a gunfight?
Pretty much. You're just asking for trouble. So, WPA2, that's our baseline. Now let's talk about those passwords. BackTrack does not mess around when it comes to strong, unique passwords. Remember those dictionary attacks we were discussing?
Oh yeah, those were pretty terrifying.
Your password is your first line of defense. Make it count.
So no more using my dog's name.
Probably for the best.
Okay, fine. But seriously, how am I supposed to remember some super complicated password?
I hear you. BackTrack recommends a minimum of 14 characters. Uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, the whole 9 yards.
14 characters. That's a lot of characters.
It is, but a good trick is to use a passphrase instead of a single word.
A passphrase. What's that, like a secret code?
Sort of. Think of a phrase that's easy for you to remember but difficult for others to guess. It could be a line from a song, a quote, even something silly you made up.
Okay, I think I'm following.
And then you replace some of the letters with numbers or symbols. So instead of leave dogs, you could use like 1L0V3DGO8.
Oh, that's actually pretty clever. I could totally remember that. Okay, so we've got our super secret passphrase. We're feeling good, we're feeling secure. But what about using the same password for multiple accounts? Isn't that like, efficient? Well, efficient maybe, but is it safe?
That's the trade-off, isn't it? Convenience versus security.
Right. Because if someone gets their hands on one password...
They've got the keys to the kingdom. It's like using the same key for your house, your car, your office.
Okay, point taken. Different locks, different keys. So we've covered strong passwords, encryption. What else do we need on our radar?
Well, BackTrack also dives into VPNs, which are crucial, especially if you're using public Wi-Fi a lot.
VPNs. Okay, remind me again how those work.
Basically, a VPN creates a secure tunnel for your data, even if you're connected to a network that's compromised.
So, like, even if I accidentally connect to one of those fake free Wi-Fi traps we talked about?
Exactly. It encrypts all your internet traffic, so anyone trying to snoop is just going to see gibberish.
It's like sending all my data in a locked briefcase, right? Instead of, like, those open postcards we talked about.
Perfect analogy. Without a VPN on public Wi-Fi, you're practically broadcasting everything you do online.
Okay. Yeah, that's not good. So, VPNs, definitely adding that to my list. Anything else? This is a lot to remember.
One more thing, BackTrack reminds us about the importance of keeping your router's firmware up to date.
Oh, right, router updates. Honestly, I always forget about those. Out of sight, out of mind,
It's easy to overlook, but those updates often include important security patches. Like, imagine locking your front door but leaving a window wide open.
Okay, I get it. Updates, updates, updates. So basically, we need to treat our home networks like our own little Fort Knox. Strong passwords, encryption, VPNs, keep everything updated.
Exactly. It's all about layers of security, minimizing those vulnerabilities.
Well, BackTrack testing wireless network security definitely opened my eyes to a whole world of digital threats out there. But the good news is, it also gave us the tools to fight back. Knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely. And a little paranoia never hurt anyone either.
That's right. Big thanks to our expert for breaking down the essentials of wireless security with us today.
My pleasure.
And for all you listeners out there, if you want to delve even deeper into the world of ethical hacking and cybersecurity, be sure to check out the full BackTrack book. It's a fascinating read. Until next time, stay safe, stay secure, and keep those networks locked down.